Today I'll be obtaining manual vital signs of a patient. She's about 20 years old and about 130 pounds. So obtaining a blood pressure right here. I'm not going to go too high up. She's a normal cardiac patient. So I might go like in the 160s to pump it up and then go down with it. But first, what I'm going to do is have her put her arm in here. Making sure that the tubes go around the brachial artery and sit comfortably here. And I'm going to be using my stethoscope in one hand and the pump in the other, so it's best to have this gauge in some place that I can see it. So going up here, I'm going to make sure that I can actually hear out of this with the bell, not twisting it into anything. I'm going to try and feel for a brachial artery, feel where I need to be placing my stethoscope for the best possible reading. So looks like right around here. Okay, gonna make sure that I clamp it down here. I'm gonna pump it up as high as I need it to go, so around 160, and then I'm going to progressively go down with it until I see the tick jumping, but I'm going to only count it whenever the heart sound is going. So whenever there's a heart sound with a tick, that's whenever I would say within the even number. So around 110 is whenever the tick is starting to move. So I'm going to slow down a little bit. And around 104 is whenever I hear a heartbeat. So I'm going to say that's systolic. Okay, and around 70, I'm going to say that's the end of the systolic or diastolic, because I don't hear any more sounds coming from there, and let the arm go. So that's blood pressure. What I can do for a manual pulse reading is I can time it with my watch. I can go into the seconds, go 15 seconds times by 4 to get the beats per minute. But first I'll go into the radial artery and then try to time it from there. I can go from the brachial artery right here, or I can go from the carotid if they're not getting any pulses from either here or there. And if there's no carotid artery, then they're probably dead and you need to start CPR, or if there's rigor mortis. But what I could also do is grab one of these. It will tell me both the pulse rate and the SpO2, making sure that her fingers are pretty warm, and then putting it on here so that we can check both of those. So it's reading now. It is going to read 99 SpO2 and 81 to 84 beats per minute. Finally, I'm going to get a glucometer, test strip, and one of these pricks. I would have wiped down the area with an alcohol wipe. So first I'm going to put this test strip inside the glucometer to start it up. Let it check, let it get controlled. Then I'm going to ask them their favorite finger. Is this your favorite finger? Okay. So I'm going to say, don't look. I'm going to squeeze the finger so I can juice as much blood as I can out. I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, prick. It's going to milk out as much as possible. I'm going to wait for the blood to see on this finger stick here. And then I'm going to, at a 90-degree, put the blood on there without oversaturating it and wait 5 seconds for it to go. And put a Band-Aid on there. Blood sugar is 98 milligrams per deciliter. Okay, finally we're going to be looking at lung sounds. That's going to be rales, rhonchi, inspiratory and expiratory wheezing, and stridor. We can also be looking for wet lung sounds with pneumonia if a doctor diagnoses it. Sometimes we'll see pneumonia with only one side of the lungs being affected or the thorax being affected, but it can also be sometimes both sides, depending on how bad the pneumonia is. We're going to be hoping for clear lung sounds on both the upper airways and the lower airways, and then we're going to be looking at the heart sounds right in the middle, to the left of the chest. It's going to be looking or sounding like lub dub. If you hear anything else, it's an arrhythmia or a ill-affected heart. So first, what we're going to be doing is lung sounds in the upper right region. I'm going to have her take a deep breath in, so breathe in. Okay. And same side. And then I'm going to be doing at the bottom here in the intrathoracic areas. So deep breath. Another one. And then finally last one here. Okay. And then we're going to be doing heart sounds, but as you can see, I was going from the tops. So you go this side and then that side, trying to compare both of them to each other so that if you do have diminished lung sounds, then you're going to hear that. So with the heart sounds, as I said, lub dub, but sounds very normal to me. She's a healthy woman.